The Sahara is a paradox, a landscape both mesmerizing and terrifying. It is the largest hot desert in the world, stretching across nearly 9.2 million square kilometers. If you lay a world map flat, the Sahara would appear as a pale yellow belt crossing 11 nations, from the Atlantic Ocean in the west to the Red Sea in the east, beneath a sky that looks innocent blue. The Sahara is a battlefield with no mercy. It has swallowed armies, trading caravans, even once magnificent cities that stood on its edges. The Sahara is known as one of the regions with the most extreme daily temperature shifts on Earth. At midday, heat can soar to 50 degrees Celsius, enough to make metal and sand feel like a furnace. But once night falls, the dry air releases heat at alarming speed. Temperatures can plummet near zero and drop even lower during the desert's winter. Rainfall here is a rare luxury. On average, the Sahara receives only 2 to 25 millimeters per year, often nothing more than a fleeting drizzle, vanishing before it ever touches the ground. Some regions of the Sahara have gone 4 decades without a single drop of rain. This makes the Sahara a land where only the most selective ecosystem survives. Not every creature can live here. Only those armed with astonishing secrets of adaptation. Some store water, others alter their feeding behavior, and some rely on efficient hunting strategies. Among the masters of survival is the dromedary camel, a species with just one hump, known as the ship of the desert, the ultimate symbol of life in the Sahara. Amid this endless sea of sand, they walk with grace, calm, and certainty, as if this deadly desert were their kingdom. For centuries, many people mistakenly believed that a camel's hump was a giant water tank. But the truth is far more ingenious. That hump is a reservoir of pure fat. When food becomes scarce, camels can metabolize this fat, transforming it into energy and even a small amount of water. Through this process, every gram of fat can be converted into more than a gram of water. In essence, the hump becomes an internal factory of energy and hydration. Thanks to this reserve, camels can march up to 40 kilometers a day for weeks without drinking a single drop. And when they finally reach water, they can consume as much as 113 liters in just 15 minutes, as if refueling their tank before another long journey. Their entire body is engineered to save every drop. Their urine is highly concentrated. Their droppings so dry they can be used immediately as fuel for fire. To withstand the extreme heat and dehydration of the Sahara, camels also possess unique red blood cells. Unlike the round, disc-shaped cells of most mammals, camels are oval. This shape allows them to flow even when blood thickens under severe dehydration. Even more extraordinary, these cells are highly elastic. They can expand up to 240% of their original volume without bursting. This is why camels can drink massive amounts of water after long periods, without suffering osmotic shock that would kill most animals. Beyond this inner resilience, they are armed with remarkable physical defenses against the Sahara itself. Their eyes are shielded by 2 layers of long, dense eyelashes, acting as natural filters against sandstorms. They also have a transparent third eyelid, sliding shut like a visor to protect their eyes, while still allowing them to see. Even their nostrils conceal completely, locking out the desert's relentless dust. Then their feet act like natural snowshoes for the desert. Broad, thick-soled pads keep them from sinking into soft sand, while insulating them from the scorching heat below. Their unique gait, moving both legs on the same side at once, creates that iconic swaying walk. yet it is the most efficient way to cross unstable terrain. With all these adaptations, it becomes clear camels are not just inhabitants of the Sahara. They are its rulers, biological ships, perfectly engineered to sail across the fiercest ocean of sand on Earth. Throughout Sahara's history, camels were never mere beasts of burden. They were bridges between civilizations, from trading caravans carrying salt and gold, to Sufi travelers journeying with merchants across the endless dunes. They were the very heartbeat of commerce and survival in this hostile land. Without them, the Sahara would have stood as an unbreakable wall against humankind. And if the camel is the grand ship of this ocean of sand, then the jerba, the so-called miniature kangaroo of the Sahara, is like a nimble motorboat darting between its dunes. The jerba is a tiny rodent with a striking appearance, a body no larger than a clenched fist, oversized, glistening black eyes, and a pair of extraordinarily long hind legs. They are like ballet dancers performing on a stage of death, for surviving as a small creature in such a brutal world requires a completely different strategy than that of the camel. The jerba cannot store vast reserves of fat and water, nor endure long hours under the sun with a massive body. Instead, its survival depends on evasion, frugality, and the art of conserving every bit of energy. The jerba is nocturnal. When the Sahara sun blazes at its peak, turning the desert into a giant oven, the jerboa sleeps safely underground. It digs tunnel systems over a meter deep beneath the sand. Here temperatures are cooler, more stable, and the air carries higher moisture. These burrows become fortresses, protecting them from the merciless daytime heat. Only when night falls and the desert turns cold do they emerge, beginning their nightly ballet of survival. Their enormous eyes are not for cuteness, but for something far more vital. Then their feet act like natural snowshoes for the desert. Broad, thick-soled pads keep them from sinking into soft sand, while insulating them from the scorching heat below. Their unique gait, moving both legs on the same side at once, creates that iconic swaying walk. Yet it is the most efficient way to cross unstable terrain. With all these adaptations, it becomes clear camels are not just inhabitants of the Sahara. They are its rulers, biological ships, perfectly engineered to sail across the fiercest ocean of sand on Earth. And before we go further into this story of survival, don't forget to subscribe and hit like, so more people can witness these untold wonders of nature. Throughout Sahara's history, camels were never mere beasts of burden. They were bridges between civilizations, from trading caravans carrying salt and gold, to Sufi travelers journeying with merchants across the endless dunes. They were the very heartbeat of commerce and survival in this hostile land. Without them, the Sahara would have stood as an unbreakable wall against humankind. If the camel is the grand ship of this ocean of sand, then the jerba, the so-called miniature kangaroo of the Sahara, is like a nimble motorboat darting between its dunes. Stay with us and make sure you're subscribed. These desert secrets are only just beginning. The jerba is a tiny rodent with a striking appearance, a body no larger than a clenched fist, oversized, glistening black eyes, and a pair of extraordinarily long hind legs. They are like ballet dancers performing on a stage of death, for surviving as a small creature in such a brutal world requires a completely different strategy than that of the camel. The jerba cannot store vast reserves of fat and water, nor endure long hours under the sun with a massive body. Instead, its survival depends on evasion, frugality, and the art of conserving every bit of energy. The jerboa is nocturnal. When the Sahara sun blazes at its peak, turning the desert into a giant oven, the jerboa sleeps safely underground. It digs tunnel systems over a meter deep beneath the sand. Here, temperatures are cooler, more stable, and the air carries higher moisture. These burrows become fortresses, protecting them from the merciless daytime heat. If you're enjoying this journey through the desert, remember to like the video and subscribe. It really helps us bring you more stories like this one. Only when night falls and the desert turns cold do they emerge, beginning their nightly ballet of survival. Their enormous eyes are not for cuteness, but for something far more vital. That is a crucial adaptation, allowing them to see in the deep darkness of the desert night. It helps them detect food and sense the presence of predators. Their oversized ears capture the faintest sound, the wing beat of an owl or the stealthy steps of a fennec fox. But the most extraordinary adaptation of the jerboa lies in the way it moves. Jerboas do not walk and they do not run. They leap, with hind legs up to 4 times longer than their front ones. These tiny desert survivors can propel themselves with astonishing speed and agility. A single jump can send them flying 3 meters through the air, and with their long tufted tail as a counterbalance, they can twist direction mid-flight in the blink of an eye. This bouncing ballet is more than graceful. It is survival. First, it minimizes contact with the scorching sand. Second, its erratic zigzagging confuses predators of the night. Snakes, owls, even desert foxes. In the darkness, the jerboa becomes a ball of energy, ricocheting across the desert floor, a phantom too quick to catch. Like many desert creatures, the jerboa rarely drinks water directly. Instead, it harvests moisture from its food. Seeds, roots, and insects make up its diet, and with an incredibly efficient metabolism, it extracts every molecule of water from these scarce meals. Its kidneys produce highly concentrated urine, ensuring not a single drop is wasted. The jerboa is living proof that size is not everything. It embodies cunning, agility, and the lesson that survival in the Sahara sometimes depends not on fighting, but on dancing around danger itself. And if you're enjoying these untold secrets of the desert, remember to subscribe and like the video. Your support helps us bring more of these stories to life. The pitch-black nights of the Sahara are not only home to nimble dancers like the jerboa, they are also the hunting grounds of some of the most lethal predators on Earth. One of the most feared and most iconic is the horned viper. Unlike others, it does not chase its prey. The horned viper is patience made flesh, a killer that vanishes into its surroundings, earning its chilling name, the Phantom of the Desert. Masters of camouflage, their sandy scales are a perfect mirror of the Sahara's endless dunes. They are able to lie completely still, half buried beneath the sand, and become almost invisible, even to the sharpest eyes. Often the only parts of their body visible above the surface are their unblinking eyes, and the pair of unique horns rising above them. These horns are in fact modified scales. Their exact purpose is still debated by scientists. Perhaps they break the outline of the head, protect the eyes from blowing sand, or simply serve as a form of display. Whatever their true function, they give the horned viper a menacing, unmistakable appearance. Its invisibility is its greatest weapon. The horned viper is an ambush predator. It chooses a strategic location, often near small vegetation or rocks, where rodents or lizards may pass. Then, with quick wriggling motions. It buries itself beneath the sand, and there it waits for hours, sometimes even days, in complete silence, when an unsuspecting victim finally strays within reach. The strike is unleashed in a fraction of a second. With lightning speed, the viper launches its head forward, mouth wide open, long hollow fangs exposed, injecting deadly venom into its prey. The attack is so fast, often less than 0.2 of a second, that the victim doesn't even realize what has happened. If you are fascinated by the hidden assassins of the desert, make sure to subscribe and like this video so you never miss the next untold story of nature. The venom of the horned viper is a potent hemotoxic cocktail. Unlike neurotoxic venom, which shuts down the nervous system, hemotoxins attack the blood and tissues. They cause excruciating pain, massive swelling, and unstoppable internal bleeding. They destroy red blood cells and shred the walls of blood vessels. For small animals, death comes swiftly, but for humans, a bite is extremely dangerous and can be fatal if not treated quickly with antivenom. Beyond its hunting skills and its deadly camouflage, the horned viper has also perfected a unique way of moving across the burning sands. It is called sidewinding. Instead of crawling straight forward like most snakes, it lifts its body in looping, S-shaped curves. At any given moment, only 2 points of its body touch the scorching sand, while the rest of it glides above the surface. With this technique, the viper seems to throw itself sideways, reducing contact with the blazing ground, while moving with surprising efficiency across loose dunes. And remember, every creature has its secret in the desert. So subscribe and keep following us, because the Sahara still hides monsters with venom even more terrifying. For the horned viper is not the only killer lurking in the endless sands. Above the scorching sands of the desert, another creature moves silently, gliding across the dunes. It is the death-stalker scorpion, a name that literally means the stalker of death. And this name was not given without reason. The death-stalker is considered one of the most dangerous scorpions in the world. Its appearance may not seem as terrifying as larger, darker species. With its yellow or greenish body, it blends seamlessly into the desert landscape. Its pincers are slim and delicate, its tail long and thin, but at the very tip of that tail lies its most terrifying weapon, the telson, a stinger carrying one of the most potent venom cocktails on Earth. And if you enjoy uncovering nature's most feared assassins, make sure to subscribe and like this video so you never miss what's coming next. What makes the death stalker's venom so dangerous is its complex mixture of neurotoxins, among them chlorotoxin and agitoxin. This deadly blend is designed to attack the nervous system swiftly and brutally. Once injected, the venom causes unbearable pain, often described as being burned by molten metal or shocked by electricity without end. But the pain is only the beginning. The venom can unleash a terrifying cascade of systemic symptoms: racing heartbeat, skyrocketing blood pressure, violent muscle spasms, and fluid buildup in the lungs that can lead to respiratory failure. For children, the elderly, or those with heart conditions, the sting of a death stalker can be fatal. Subscribe and stay with us, because the dangers of the Sahara are far from over. Like other survivors of the desert, the death stalker is a master of endurance. It is active at night, escaping the blistering heat of the day. Its hard exoskeleton not only shields it from predators, but is coated in a waxy layer that prevents water loss, an essential adaptation in this dry, merciless climate. It is a patient, opportunistic hunter. With its pincers, it seizes insects, spiders, even other smaller scorpions, and when it faces larger or more difficult prey, it does not hesitate to unleash its lethal sting. The deathstalker does not rely on sight, which is poor, but on vibrations. Along its legs are fine sensory hairs, capable of detecting the slightest tremor in the sand. Each subtle movement betrays the presence of its next victim, and in the desert night, there is no escape. So don't forget, like and subscribe to follow us deeper into the shadows of the Sahara, because here, death often waits just beneath the sand.